In today's lecture, we will discuss the definition of cyclic group, examples of the cyclic groups and results which are based on cyclic groups. So for full detail, let us move to the board. Cyclic group, a group is said to be a cyclic group if it is generated by a single element. That means every element of the group can be written in the form of a single element. The single element is known as the generator, and the group G is called cyclic group with a generator of this element. Let G be a group, then G is said to be cyclic group if each element X belongs to G can be written in the form a raised to power n, n is belongs to Z and a is belongs to G. That means every element of G can be written in the form a raised to power n, n is belongs to Z, n is an integer and a is belongs to G. We can also write it as G is equal to generated by A, or we can also write it as this, where A is the generator. That means A generates every element of G. A is the generator and G is cyclic group. We discuss the example. Let G is equal to 1 minus 1 iota minus iota. It is a group with respect to multiplication, and we see every element of G can be written in the form of a single element. 1 we can write 1 is equal to iota raised to power 0. Minus 1 we can write iota raised to power 2. Iota can be written as iota raised to power 1. Minus iota can be written as iota raised to power 3. That means every element of G can be written in the form of iota. Every element is a integral power of iota. So iota becomes the generator of G and G becomes the cyclic group. We find order of each of element. In the same example, we find the order of each of element. So first of all, we discuss the order of an element. Order of an element of a group. Let A belongs to G, then there exists a least positive integer such that positive integer n such that a raised to power n is equal to E, where E is the identity element of the group, where E is the identity element of the group. Then n is called the order of the element A. We repeat again, order of an element, the least positive integer such that a raised to power n is equal to identity, then this least positive integer is known as the order of the n element. We can find the order of each element of this group. We will discuss the order of an element with the help of example. Find the order of each element of the group G is equal to 1 minus 1 iota minus iota. G is a group with respect to binary operation multiplication, and order of G, the number of elements in G, that means 4. So order of a group is 4, but our target to find the order of each element, not a order of a group. Order of a group, that means number of elements in the group, but order of element, each element separately we will find. We can write 1 raised to power 1 is equal to 1. In this group, 1 is the identity element, because G is a group with respect to multiplication. So in case of multiplication, 1 is the identity element. So by the definition of the order of an element, there exists a least positive integer such that a raised to power n is equal to identity. That means here a is 1, that means number of elements. 1 raised to power 1 is equal to 1, identity element. This implies order of 1 is equal to 1. Minus 1 raised to power 1 is equal to minus 1, does not equal to 1, does not equal to identity. Minus 1 raised to power 2 is equal to 1, which is equal to identity. This implies order of minus 1 is equal to 2. Iota raised to power 1 is equal to iota, does not equal to 1. Iota raised to power 2 is equal to minus 1, does not equal to 1. Iota raised to power 3 is equal to minus iota, does not equal to 1. Iota raised to power 4 is equal to 1, which is a identity. This implies order of iota is equal to 4. Similarly, minus iota raised to power 1 is equal to minus iota, does not equal to 1. Minus iota raised to power 2 is equal to iota square, that means minus 1, does not equal to identity. Minus iota raised to power 3 is equal to minus iota. Minus iota raised to power 3 is equal to minus iota cube, which is equal to iota cube is equal to iota, that means which is minus iota, does not equal to identity. Iota raised to power minus iota raised to power 4 is equal to 1. This implies order of minus iota is equal to 4. So we find the order of each of the element. In this case, order of 1 is 1, order of minus 1 is 2, order of iota is 4, and order of minus iota is also 4. We correlate this order with cyclic group. G is a cyclic group. It is generated by iota. That means every element can be written in the form of iota. We can write the every element of G in the form of minus iota also. That means the order of generator and order of group both are same. The order of iota is 4 and order of G is also 4. It's a result, it's a standard result that the order of an element, order of an generator is always equal to order of the group. We will discuss later on. Now, we can discuss some results based on cyclic groups. The first result we will discuss, every cyclic group is an abelian group. In previous lecture we already discussed what is the abelian group, and in today's lecture we discuss the cyclic group. Now we can prove that every cyclic group is an abelian group. Now the first theorem on cyclic group. Every cyclic group is an abelian group. Proof. Let G is a cyclic group. We have to prove that G is an abelian. That means G satisfies the commutative property. That means, in simple words, we can say that any two elements of G commute each other. So let x, y belongs to G be arbitrary. as G is cyclic. Suppose G is generated by A, that is G is equal to A generator. XY belongs to G, so there exists integers m n such that x is equal to a raised to power m and y is equal to a raised to power n. By the definition of the cyclic group, every element of a cyclic group can be written in the form of a generator, integral power of generator. So here G is a cyclic group generated by A. That means every element of G can be written in the form of integral power of A. So there exist in two integers m and n. They may be different, they may be equal, but we can write x is equal to a raised to power m and y is equal to a raised to power n. Now x into y is equal to a raised to power m into a raised to power n, which is equal to a raised to power m plus n. A very simple mathematical, whose base are equal, then their power is n. So a raised to power n into a raised to power n is equal to a raised to power m plus n. We can write it as a raised to power n plus m, because m n are the integers and integer is a group with respect to addition. Therefore we can write m plus n is equal to n plus m by the commutative property. So a raised to power n plus m, we write it as a raised to power n into a raised to power m. This implies we see x into y is equal to a raised to power n into a raised to power m, which is equal to a raised to power n is y and a raised to power m is x. This implies x into y is equal to y into x. So G becomes an abelian group. That means every cyclic group is always abelian group. In the next theorem, we will prove that generator, every cyclic group is generated by any single element. So a cyclic group have more than two generators. If A is a generator, then its inverse is also a generator. In the next result we will prove. So the next theorem, let G is a cyclic group generated by A. Then G is also generated by inverse of A, that is by A inverse. That means if G is a group and it is generated by an element A, then it is also generated by inverse of that element. We will prove. Let G is a cyclic group generated by A. That means every element of G can be written in the form of integral power of A. Our target to prove that every element of G can also be written in the integral power of A inverse. That means A inverse is also becomes a generator of G. Let X belongs to G be arbitrary. So there exists n belongs to Z such that X is equal to a raised to power n by the definition of cyclic group. Now we can write it as a raised to power minus 1 into minus n, a raised to power minus n into minus n, which is equal to a raised to power r. Let minus n is equal to r. Then r is also belongs to z, because n is an integer. Minus n is also an integer. If n is negative, then minus n is positive. If n is positive, then minus n is negative. So r, we have to denote minus n by r. So r belongs to integer. It may be positive or it may be negative. This implies x is equal to minus a raised to power minus 1 raised to power r. X is arbitrary and every element of G, that means x can be written in the power of minus A inverse. That means A inverse becomes a generator. This implies A inverse is a generator of G. We can write it as G is equal to generated by A inverse. So if cyclic group G is generated by A, then it is also generated by its inverse. So we conclude from this theorem that any group have minimum 2 generators. If there is a generator A, then A inverse is also a generator. So every group, every cyclic group minimum have 2 generators. This question may be asked in competitive examples. In competitive exam, question may be asked how many minimum generators may be of a group. So minimum 2. So students, DS, we will discuss the next result. The next result on cyclic group. The order of a group is always equal to the order of its generator. The order of a group is always equal to order of its generator. That means G is a group, A is a generator of G. We will prove the order of A and the order of group G both have same. For this, let G be a group generated by A, that is G is equal to generated by A. G is a group, G is a cyclic group generated by A. Now G may be finite group or G may be infinite group. It is not mandatory that every cyclic group is finite. Cyclic group may be finite or may be infinite. So here G is a group generated by A, that means G may be finite and G may be infinite. So first case we will take G is a finite. Let G is a finite group. So let order of G is equal to n. G is a finite group, that means the number of elements in the group are finite. Let me suppose number of elements of the group is n. That means order of G is equal to n. A is a generator, so we can write A raised to power 1, A raised to power 2, A raised to power 3, A raised to power 4 and so on. A raised to power n is equal to identity. Why? Our target to prove that order of a group is equal to order of generator. We can also suppose suppose order of A is equal to n. We will prove the order of G is equal to n. This is our target to prove. Order of A is equal to n. This implies A raised to power n is equal to identity by the definition of the order. There exists a least positive integer such that A raised to power n is equal to identity. So we write A raised to power 1, A raised to power 2, A raised to power 3, A raised to power 4, A raised to power 5 and so on. A raised to power n is equal to identity. That means there are n distinct elements. A raised to power n, A raised to power 2, A raised to power 3, A raised to power 4, A raised to power n, all are distinct elements because n is the least positive integer such that A raised to power n is equal to identity. That means the elements A raised to power 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, all are distinct. So G has n elements. Our target to prove G does not have more than n elements. Our target to prove that a number of elements in G is equal to n. But from this statement, we prove that G has at least n elements. G has at least n elements. We can write the word at least. If G has more than n elements, let X belongs to G. So there exists M belongs to Z such that X is equal to A raised to power M. By division algorithm theorem, M is an integer. We can write it as M is equal to N into Q plus R, where R is greater than equal to 0, less than N. Least positive division algorithm theorem, that means there are two integers M and N. If M is greater than N, then we can divide M by N. There exists a quotient and there exists a remainder. So we can write M is equal to N Q plus R, where Q is the quotient and R is the remainder. So now from this, X is equal to A raised to power M is equal to A raised to power N Q plus R. We can write it as A raised to power N raised to power Q into A raised to power R. A raised to power N is the identity. So E raised to power Q into A raised to power R. E raised to power Q is equal to E, is the identity element, into A raised to power R is equal to A raised to power R, where R is greater than equal to 0, less than N. That means R is an integer which is always less than N. So G have at most n elements. From this statement we show G has at least n elements. From this statement we prove G has at most n elements. That means G has exactly n elements. So number of elements in the group is equal to the order of the generator. Now in the next step we will show if group is a infinite group. So second we prove that if G is infinite. If G is infinite group. G is a cyclic group generated by A. Suppose order of A is equal to n, which is finite. Let X belongs to G be arbitrary. Then X is equal to A raised to power M, where M is belongs to Z. If M is equal to N, then x is equal to a raised to power n is equal to identity, because order of a is n and a raised to power n is equal to identity. So x, the element of G is equal to identity. If m is greater than n, then x is equal to a raised to power m. We can write it as a raised to power m n into q plus r, which is equal to a raised to power n raised to power q into a raised to power r, which is equal to a raised to power r. R is greater than equal to 0, less than n. That means if m is greater than n, then every element of x can be written in the form of a raised to power r, where r is less than n. That means the number of elements in G is finite, that means less than n. If m is less than n, then automatically every element, then the number of elements in G are finite. So in all the three cases we see that the number of elements in G are finite, a contradiction, because G is an infinite group, so number of elements in the group are infinite, but in these three cases we see the number of elements in the group are finite, a contradiction. This contradiction shows that our supposition is wrong, that is order of A is equal to n is wrong, that is order of A is infinite. So if order of G is infinite, then order of its generator is also infinite. So in both the cases we already proved that the order of an element, order of an generator is always equal to order of the group. So in cyclic group we can conclude that every order of an group is always equal to the order of its generator. So dear students, in today's lecture we discuss a cyclic group, examples of the cyclic groups and results based on cyclic groups, which are very important, which are play a very vital role in abstract algebra. Hope you are understand all these things. Keep watching our e-learning program and enhance your knowledge. Thanks to all. Have a nice day. Okay, good luck.